Hello everyone, Warhammer back, and we're going to be starting a brand new Empire modded campaign, which I am really excited for, playing as Karl, Franz. So just before we start, we're going to do a quick overview of all the mods in the collection, which it will be linked in the description below. Starting off, we have our first two mods. These are just to enable the rest of them. First is Mixus Unlocker, which just enables some of the other mods throughout the list. Second, we have the mod configuration tool. Now this is a really helpful tool. If you guys don't know, in the top left corner you can actually access this. And many of the mods in this list have settings that you can adjust if you would like to. And that's what you can do through this mod configuration tool. So for some of these that are coming, change them if you would like by going into the settings and disabling or enabling anything that you would like to. Moving on to the rest of them, we have Ovian's Lost World. This is one that I really like. It adds a lot of flavor to the campaign map. It adds new landmarks, changes the look of a lot of settlements, renames some of them. It's just very thematic and gets you more into the world. Next, we have the campaign and battle weather overhauls. So this affects the campaign map and then also battles. Really nice. And we have the unique faction UI. This just changes it to add a little bit more flavor to whatever race you're playing as. For the Empire, adds a little bit more of the Gothic skulls and stuff. And then going on to our actual mechanic and units. So first we have a mod called Empire's Masters Engineers. This adjusts some of the skill lines for the Empire Engineers and actually gives them a couple of variants. So they can get like a repeater rifle, a Hawk and long scope, and a grenade launcher. Really cool. And it also adds a unique legendary hero, Jabal Falk from the Tamargan Throne of Chaos expansion for tabletop. We will show off him in just a little bit. Next we have what I'm really excited to show off, which is our Empire Knightly Orders mods. Now these are great. They add lots and lots of new units, lots of flavor. I'm very excited to see them in action. It's going to be a main part of this campaign as Karl, Franz. So we actually have 4 mods coming in from that. One is just for the assets for it. The other one is the mod itself, and there's a special version of it that doesn't adjust the Reichsguard because one of our other mods is actually going to do that. And the next one adds a new generic lord choice to go along with our knights called the Grandmaster. These guys are the ones that actually lead the knightly orders, so they're very good combatants. They have some really cool mount options. And then our one after that actually adds some unique Grandmasters. These guys are the actual Grandmasters of certain orders, like the Knights of the Everlasting Light or the Knights Panther. So they have their own unique skill lines and they are unlocked at certain levels through quests throughout the campaign. Then afterwards we have a really cool mod called the Grand Order of the Reichsguard. So this one is just for the Reichsguard specifically. It gives them some unique traits, but it will also give us what are called Imperial Foot. So these are the Reichsguard, which are divided into cavalry and then their infantry division, which is called the Imperial Foot. So we'll have them. They can actually be upgraded into a greatsword or a halberd variant. Next, we have the Celestial Hurricanum, which is a magical chariot, so that's a war machine. So it is a counterpart to the Luminarch of Hysh. So instead of being for the light order, this one is for the Lord of Heavens. It's pretty cool. It shoots lightning and stuff and gives some melee buffs. It's really cool. Next, we have unique steam tanks. Like its name implies, this adds unique steam tanks to the campaigns. These are all going to be regiments of renown that you have to unlock. They all have a really unique flavor, which we'll show off a little bit. After that, we have the Empire Wizard Lord. So this basically adds the generic Empire Wizard as a Lord option for the Empire, which they had in tabletop. We didn't get in the Thrones of Decay DLC, so this will actually add that. The next is going to add some mounts, specifically for the Archlectors, who are going to get access to the War Altar of Sigmar, which the Grand Theogenist Volkmar usually has. He's going to get his own unique mount, which we'll show off as well. Another one adds the Demigryph mounts for Empire Captains. You just kind of need a little leg up. They're good heroes. I just want them to be useful in battle. After that, we have the Immersive Battle Banners, which you guys have seen in my mod collections before. It just adjusts some of the flavor and visuals on the campaign map and in battle. I really like what it does. The next two you've also seen before. These are Garrison and Veterancy upgrades. So Garrisons will naturally gain experience up to level 6 every 10 turns. And the other one affects how unit ranks actually affect their stats. So levels between experience are going to be bigger, but they're going to have more rewards as far as leadership. So it really changes the dynamic of battles when you're fighting high experience armies versus vanilla. It's really cool. I really enjoy it. And then the last mod is a gun and smoke powder mod, which is great because it just adds some more flair and flavor for battles. And that will be it. We will do a quick overview of some of those new units and changes right now. So guys, as a part of the unique Steam Tank mod, actually Volkmar will actually get his own unique little Steam Tank. You don't have to use this. Unfortunately, it's not one of the options you can disable with the mod configuration tool if you don't like it, but I think it is cool, but we don't have to use it if we don't want to during the campaign. So he'll get that. The Art Selector will get the War Altar of Sigmar, which they had in tabletop. Here is one of our new generic lords. He is called the Grand Master. Normally he starts on a horse, but once you level him up, you can actually dedicate him to one of the knightly orders, and he'll get bonuses based on that, and some of them can actually get a demigryph mount, which we're seeing right now. He is part of the Knights Panther, which is a knightly order dedicated to hunting down mutants in the Drakwald Forest. Then we have our Wizard Lord, who actually gets a cool mount, which is awesome. He can actually get a Luminarch of Hysh mount. So, pretty cool. Our Empire Captain now gets a demigryph mount. And then explaining some of our changes to the engineers. This is one of the variants, so he gets a repeater rifle. Like I said, they can get a Hawk Long rifle or a grenade launcher. And Jabal Falk, this is our legendary hero, so he is the master engineer of Nuln. And in the mod, he's known for being a sniper, but in the mod, he actually has a few mount options. He starts on foot, but he can get, I believe, a mechanical steed, but he also gets a war balloon option, and he still retains his range, so he's a good sniper character. But he can actually get a unique steam tank mount that does not have its normal cannons, but it's pretty cool. Moving on, we have our Imperial Foot right here. So these guys will replace the Caribou Greatswords as the Reichland unique unit you can get from them. So starting as Karl, Franz, you will get access to them. Their starting unit is a sword and shield variant, but like I said, you can upgrade them to great swords or halberds if you would like. With the mod, several of the knightly orders can actually be recruited on foot. And they'll have pretty good stats. They'll fulfill basically the same role, just on foot. So they'll be like anti-large or great swords, depending on whatever they were on the mounted version. So it's really, really cool. I'm not going to show all of them in detail because I kind of want you guys to explore them on your own. But needless to say, they are pretty cool. They all have their own unique little niche. And we'll see some more variants of them right here. So we have our Reichsguard, for example. They have the Lance formation now, which makes them really good at charging. We have like the Drakenhof Templars, who excel at fighting the undead. You have the Knights of Everlasting Light. These guys are really interesting because they're cursed, so when they actually get into melee, the more they're in melee, they actually lose armor and melee stats, but they gain a ward save, which is pretty cool. But lots of cool guys. Knights Panther, previously mentioned before. These guys hunt monsters, so they're anti-large. We have Knights of the White Wolf. These are the Templars of Ulrich. So they wield hammers in battle. We have the Knights of the Raven. These are also guys who fight the undead, but these are kind of interesting because they're a hybrid cavalry for the Empire. So still heavily armored, but they do have a missile attack. And just so you guys know, a lot of these knightly orders will have their own unique regiment of renown, which you can recruit when you get their chapter houses and things like that. So it's like here we have the Reichsguard Inner Circle. They have a demigryph unique version. We have the Felwolf Brotherhood. These are the regiment of renown Knights of the White Wolf that are mounted. Herbert Greatswords are a different regiment of renown now. They're a little bit different. They're still unbreakable. We have the Brotherhood of the Axe, the Regiment of Renown Tutogen Guard from the Cult of Ulrich. These guys are awesome. Moving on to our War Machines and Chariots. So here we have the Luminarch of Hysh. I brought it just so you'd remember what it was, because you don't see it very often. Here we have the counterpart. So the Luminarch is from the Light College. The Celestial Hurricanum is from the Heavens College. So on the tabletop, it get called on lightning and stuff, which is pretty cool. So it itself has a ward save, but it also gives melee attack to nearby units, and it can actually shoot lightning and affects the power recharge of your wizard, so it'll actually regen your Winds of Magic faster. But we have some of our unique Steam Tank models. For example, this one is an all melee one, but it has a little bit extra stats to buff it because of that. Then we have one, like for example, this one does not have the steam gun on top, so it only has the main cannon, but it has really, really high damage, so it's really awesome. This is one that has a mortar along with some riflemen in the back. We have a Hellstorm rocket battery. So these are all based off of the steam tanks in the lore, kind of, because in the lore there's only 13 steam tanks and they can't replicate anymore, but they're all supposed to be slightly different, which is cool. So this kind of fleshes that out a little bit. But we will have a really fun time with this mod, guys. I hope you are going to enjoy it as much as I am. Let's jump into the campaign.
Now is the time, men of the Empire, to unite!
Alright guys, I'm very, very excited to start this campaign with you as Karl, Franz. Empire, one of my favorites. I'm excited to share this campaign with all the mods. I think they're going to add lots of cool flavor and value to your campaign. So looking at Karl Franz right off the bat, his mechanics have not changed, but you'll see over here we have another little icon called the Steam Tank Workshop. So bringing that up, we'll look at our crafting menu. This is what is going to allow you to unlock the unique steam tanks. So you're going to have to acquire some of these trade resources and spend some gold and prestige to build them. And then they are recruited from your regiments of renown. But something else you will notice is that in Karl Franz's army, instead of the Kerber Greatswords, he actually starts with the Imperial Foot. So they are the Regiment of Renown, Elector Count State Troop for Reichland. And with this little icon here, you can actually see that you can upgrade them to Great Swords or Halberds at rank 4. And for our knightly orders, you'll see the landmarks for several of them throughout the Empire. Now, something I didn't mention before about the knightly orders is that they are going to function on a unit cap system, because they can be very, very powerful. So you'll be able to recruit a few when you build chapter houses, but building landmarks that have them will give you big boost in capacity, or you can build the smaller chapter houses in any of the other settlements most of the time. But they are very, very cool. Ovian's Lost mod, you also see that some of the stuff has been renamed and moved a little bit. So we have the Castle Reichsguard over here. It has the landmarks for the Reichsguard and also for the Knight's Griffin. And that's about it for those things that we want to cover right away. Once we get through with this first battle, we'll take a look at some of the new lords that we can recruit. But before we do that, let's actually check out our missions. So I mentioned the legendary knightly order Grandmasters. So you have a mission for all of them if you open up the missions panel. So most of them are unlocked through a few battles or getting to certain areas and things like that. So they are really nice to have these semi-legendary lords to lead some of your armies. Technology tree is unchanged for the most part. But for us right away, let's go fight this battle. See our Imperial Foot in action. Okay, yeah, we want to fight this. Alright, Karl Franz leads the first battle against the Empire Secessionists. We have handgunners, mortars, and our first look at the Imperial Foot. These guys are the Reichsguard on foot, so they have warhammers, they have swords and shields. Our Reichsguard going around the back, so we can start to get on these crossbows sooner than later. Nice thing about the Reichsguard is they do have lance formation, which gives them pretty good speed and charge bonus, although it does lower the melee defense, but they're going to be freaking hammers on our anvil. But for now, we're using our mortars to try to hit some of these swordsmen, but Empire mortars are not very accurate at low levels, so going to try to get what damage we can. But they are about to move into range of our gunpowder, yes. Handgunners doing some work, and if you guys haven't noticed, we have the gunpowder smoke from our awesome mod, going to be awesome for the Empire since we have a lot of gunpowder units. We decide to switch our fire onto the swordsmen since they are the bigger threat. Even though their shields are going to block some of the damage, they're much harder to kill because they're more of a threat because they have much higher melee attack. So our Reichsguard, yeah, just plowed through those crossbowmen, but we don't want to get caught and surrounded by these swordsmen and the lords. So we're going to keep pulling them out. But swordsmen going into battle. Imperial Foot, yeah, these guys are just wrecking face. 24 kills. They just shattered those guys very, very quickly. Got weakened quite a bit by our gunpowder, which we have switched over to the swordsman now. Rexguard coming in for another big charge. Yeah, just decimating the leadership of these guys. Karl, Franz using the Reikland Rune Fang. Oh, not the Reikland Rune Fang. What's it called? Oh, it is the Reikland. I was thinking of Beast Slayer. Oh, Beast Slayer is the other one you can get. Yeah, now we get to switch all of our gunpowder onto Helmut Ludendorff, the general of the Secessionist Empire units. But Empire foot coming over to help fight these spearmen. Switched our mortar onto some of these swordsmen that are retreating, but yeah, this duel is not going to go well for that guy. Galmaraz is going to wreck him. Yeah. Ooh, there he goes. Starts to rout. Coward. You cannot face the might of the Warhammer of Sigma. He's got 1 HP left, and he goes down. Pretty good battle. We only lost 6 guys. Our X-Guard dominated that. Same with the Imperial Foot. But our handgunners did like half the work killing this guy, so that was great. Alright, we really didn't take a lot of damage, so I don't think we need the heal. I think a lot of the Knightly Order stuff is going to be expensive, so let's take the money, even though it's pretty meager. Dragon Helm, that's not a terrible item. Well, it's not great, but it's better than nothing.
I command here.
Helmgart, let's get that going for growth. And who can we be friends with right off the bat? Talbeklands?
It is good to see fellow sons
Sure.
of the Empire this day.
I will.
Sigma.
You trade with, yeah, we'd have to pay almost 800 for a trade agreement. Well, we'll see if we can get it next turn with
All right.
Please Live.
Yes. Sigma's will.
The nation calls.
So, let's get a technology going. While we're going to use a lot of cavalry later, I don't think we can quite afford it at the start. So let's, or you can't even recruit some of the ones we really want yet. So let's go for the armor for infantry first.
Summon the Elector Count.
And let's take Castle Reichsguard. Alright, close victory. We really have to be careful with our early battles. The Heldenhammer. Taking the Castle Reichsguard. Now, they are going to come after us this time because we do have the mortars, which had them in range. We got a little bit of experience the last battle, but not enough to get to rank 1. So they're still pretty inaccurate, but we do have a nice defensive position up on a hill. So our handgunners are going to have free reign to shoot over our own infantry. We're just going to position them on this little bit of an incline so they have a little bit better line of sight. And they get an extra damage boost, I believe, when shooting downhill. I don't know if our incline is steep enough, but yeah, they're just wrecking those spearmen. Reichsguard coming around, getting ready for big charge here. Let's watch this in action. These crossbows, yeah, they already realize what's happening. Like, oh, that's not a good spot for us. Yeah, we're just gonna watch this massive charge. Oh, I love cavalry charges like that. But the rest of the secessionist army is moving forward. We are going to meet them on the battlefield, charging into them with the halberdiers. Karl, Franz coming in to support. Big splash damage there. That was nice. Over here, Imperial Foot decimating the spearmen. The only thing that can really do any damage are these swordsmen, and we are just blowing them away with gunpowder. Yeah, big shots by the mortar there. That one was a little bit close to our guys, but I think we hit them pretty much spot on. And with that, the Empire Secessionists are just like, oh, this is too much. And watch this, another big Reichsguard charge into the rear of these spearmen. Just gonna shatter them. Which might be enough to tear out, well, not necessarily tear out, but rout everything else just from everything else, leadership being broken, and it is. Raxguard are so awesome. Aha. Another great battle. Lost a few more guys this time, but okay, I don't want to loot it, so we're just going to occupy it. That gives us the Terrifying Mask of E. Fear and Terror is not bad for the early game.
I am Prince and
Okay, for
Emperor.
Karl Franz, Hold the Line is really good. What do we want more right off the bat? I think Hold the Line's best. Oh, that's interesting. So this is Emperor's Finest actually buffs the Imperial Foot now. So that actually makes it worthwhile to take, because it also buffs our early units too. Cool. That's actually, I'm actually more inclined to do that because of that, because that'll benefit all of our melee stuff.
I am Franz. They will obey.
Alright, with our growth, we're going to throw... Normally I throw everything into Altdorf, but since Castle Reichsguard... Yeah, since this has landmarks here... What exactly do we want to get at Altdorf right away? Ideally, I'd like to get some stuff so we can get some heroes. So that's something else that's interesting too. So you have the Shrines of Sigmar, but you can also build a Shrine to Ulrich to get Knights of the White Wolf. Which I'm really looking forward to when the Empire gets its last DLC that has the Cult of Ulrich and the Knightly Orders and stuff, hopefully. Because I would really love to see an Ulrich DLC. But yeah, what do we want to get right away with Altdorf? Probably this, actually, for reduced upkeep, because we usually have trouble with public order as well. Yeah, I think that's our safe bet. We get growth pretty fast. As far as recruitment... Archers are okay. I'm actually going to go for Spearmen with shields first, because ranged units gain experience a lot faster, so let's get some early... melee infantry so they can start getting experience over time.
Yes.
But let's also recruit, not hero, a new lord. So as you guys have seen, we now have the Empire Wizard Lords, and a light wizard will be cool, be able to get a Luminarch mount for him. I'm generally not a huge fan of the Lord of Light, but I think it can be very useful in certain situations, and in the Empire too, but we'll see what wizard we get next turn, because we usually get one on turn 2 as Karl Franz. But let's take a look at our Grand Master. So you have the option for Tactician, which is not very good. That's pretty good though. Unit experience per turn, recruit rank, and local recruitment capacity. Yeah,
This will bolster the nation.
we'll get him. Yeah, so they start mounted too. So as you can see, once they hit a certain rank, you can dedicate them to a Knightly Order, and they'll get certain bonuses and different mounts depending on that, so it can be really, really cool. But for now, we'll kind of leave this guy as is. He's just going to accompany Karl Franz. And our electric count stuff. Nothing too crazy to worry about there. Yeah, so hopefully we get hopefully get like a Life Wizard or something. I'd really love to get Life Wizard. The Empire is one of the factions that needs healing the most, because their units are pretty versatile. They just aren't top tier in any regard, except for maybe artillery. So they require a lot of support. But we can do that through Warrior Priests, we can do that through Empire Captains. Oh yeah, we just need to start getting some heroes, like an Engineered Lord. Not an Engineered Lord, sorry, an Engineer Hero. So we can see some of the unique variants they get. Empire Secessionists are usually pretty difficult on Legendary if you have to fight the battle at Ubersreich, so...
What do you want of me?
What did we get? We got a Fire Wizard. Okay, that's not bad.
Ready to burn them.
Yeah, the
I serve no master.
Fire Wizards are pretty good.
You need fire?
or Bright Wizard technically, since they're part of the Empire. So let's start making our way over to Uberreich. We'll get one more turn of recruitment.
The nation calls.
I think I actually want to recruit with our Grand Master because he gets extra bonuses for that. And he gets another recruitment slot, I believe. Because I don't think that applies to Karl Franz. Oh, it does apply to Karl Franz, but he doesn't get the recruitment rank, I believe. Yeah. So we want to do that with you. Let's get some more spearmen. We'll get
I am Prince and Emperor.
some ranged firepower.
Who calls?
I think after this turn. Maybe we'll get... Because we have... 6... Yeah, let's actually get... Let's get 1 spearman and 2 archers.
Flame on. Summon speed.
I kind of want to get a Wizard Lord as well.
I command here.
Because if he marches, he might be able to get far enough to reinforce. If not, he'll join the turn after. But that's going to cost a lot of money, though. But, who knows? You know what? I think we'll wait. I think we're going to need a lot of money to upgrade our stuff to get some knightly orders, so I think we can wait. Call Franz. Okay, if we do this, this gives 4 melee defense. Whereas this would give 5, but only in a small area. I think we're okay with that one first. Yeah.
To the provinces.
Oh, I should have checked diplomacy. See if Kislev was willing to trade with us. Because I'm unsure with these mods how strong the minor Empire factions are going to be. Because usually the Empire is kind of a dumpster fire where everything is just being taken over either by Chaos or Beastmen, or Vampires, and Skaven now with Throt. We'll kind of decide what we want to do.
I will marshal the band.
So we'll have Karl Franz lead.
War calls.
And we'll have this guy switch over his units so we can start with him in the battle.
So,
And let's stick you in encampment stance so you get extra leadership and melee defense. We'll have enough growth to build up Castle Reichsguard next turn. Because that also gives us the ability to upgrade this, which gives us more growth as well.
to war.
But this is probably going to be a pretty difficult battle. They've got spearmen, bunch of spearmen, 2 handgunners, Empire Knights, mortars. Okay, it's a pretty serious army. Some great swords. Let's look at the map. Is this okay? I think we should be okay if we use our mortars to kind of whittle down the great swords, and these guys we should be okay. We can hit the handgunners with cavalry. And we can use our archers to whittle down the spearmen that don't have shields. I think we'll be okay. We have our first real test with Karl Franz in this campaign. We've got a few more spearmen to help us out. These guys do have shields, so they're pretty good at holding the line, especially if Karl Franz is near, because we do have hold the line passive skill, so it gives more leadership and melee defense. It's going to be our first showcase of our Grand Master, who comes in as reinforcements in a minute and a half, but it's a pretty sizable force for the Empire Secessionists. Fair amount of spearmen, 2 things of handgunners, crossbows, mortars. Then they do have a thing of Empire Knights hidden somewhere. Which, these guys can be pretty dangerous if they get on a juicy target. But we're going to be moving our units out slowly until we can get into range and kind of pick our spot. We are going to have to be a little bit aggressive just because they have a fair amount of firepower, so we're going to be bringing up our Reichsguard over on the flank to try to get behind and hopefully shut down these mortars. It is a pretty risky move with how many spearmen there are. They do have a unit of greatswords too, which these guys don't have bonus for large, but they have a lot of armor piercing, So they'll be able to get through our Reichsguard's defenses, which we have them in Lance formation as well, which does lower their melee defense, but it is going to give them more mass and charge and acceleration so they can actually push through and get onto the target we want. But their mortars just barely get into position. They initially were worried about our Reichsguard, but now they saw that the real threat is coming. We have our Bright Wizard too, Fire Magic. He only has Fireball at the moment, but gonna try to get to where we want as soon as we can. Get some fireballs, hopefully, on the mortars. But yeah, it's targeting our Imperial Foot, which is the prime target for them. That is our most valuable infantry unit. But the rest of our forces are kind of getting into place. Grandmaster is on the field. No dedication to a certain knightly order yet. So he's just a sword and shield guy, but he has pretty good damage, 430 weapon strength, up 2/3 regular, 1/3 armor piercing, so not amazing, but he can get really, really good damage and abilities later on. But yeah, ooh, that was a big shot by those mortars on our Imperial Effect. Did a little bit of damage, only got 1 kill though. But with our Fireball, we managed to take out one of the artillery pieces. Our Reichsguard are trying to sneak around, but our ranged units aren't quite to the point where they can start shooting. We're going to try to wait a little bit. If we can shut down their mortars, we'll be in a much better position, but I think with how much firepower they have, and some of it being distracted with our Reichsguard pushing through, I think now is our time to push forward in just a second. Yeah, our mortars aiming for some of their handgunners, because they're the biggest threat to our Reichsguard for the most part, and the great swords. But Grandmaster coming in, he's going to protect our left flank, kind of scout out what's over there. But Fireball, trying to hit the mortars once again, which they have been crushed by the Reichsguard, but they have pushed right into the great swords, and like I said before, these guys do have enough armor piercing and melee attack to actually get through our defenses, especially with the lance formation lowering our melee defense just a little bit. But we have begun the advance of our infantry, while our mortars have switched targets on some of these swordsmen. Reichsguard do manage to pull out most of their models out of the enemy infantry, but our Grandmaster goes into the woods, trying to spot out what they have in wait for us, but he did actually miss these Empire Knights. I did not see them. So they're just going to bypass my spearmen and go right for my gun line, which is not great. Luckily for me, it looks like they're going to bypass our mortars and just go after archers, which is a big mistake, because these guys are like worthless compared to the other stuff. So we send our Bright Wizard in to try to help these guys out. We're trying to reform their line so they can get some shots off these Empire Knights. So the Bright Wizard's going to go in, shut them down, hopefully keep them from pushing into our handgunners. Grandmaster's coming back. Reichsguard did get away from the great swords, and they're shutting down the enemy handgunners now, which is perfect. Most of, I think all of the enemy range firepower has been shut down, except for these guys, which are partially in melee. But these swordsmen getting hit by some friendly mortar shots. Not doing great against the spearmen, but over here, our spearmen with shields are actually holding up very well against 2 enemy units. But yeah, the Empire Knights trying to get away with the Empire General coming in to help out. But we have focused fire with our handgunners now, so they're going to be able to do pretty well against them. Reichsguard, yeah, we've almost broken all of the enemy handgunners off. We moved up some of our archers to try to shoot them for that support. The enemy greatswords just kind of have a pure hatred of the Reichsguard, apparently, since they are typically the protectors of the electric counts, whereas the Reichsguard are the protectors of the Emperor. But Halberdiers doing very nice. Just little bit by little bit, we're grinding them down. For the most part, we're holding up very well, although the Imperial Foot, despite their great stats and armor, they are just getting pinned down by multiple units on all sides, so they're just having a little bit of a rough time, but they're still getting plenty of kills. Reichsguard, after finishing off the handgunners for the most part, kind of come back, get on these mortars before they can get any more shots off. Our mortars, however, we did switch into manual targeting to try to avoid hitting our own Imperial foot with mortars, which they just decimated those guys. And their handgunners going to come out and try to get to the point where they can start shooting some of these great swords. The Bright Wizard and Grandmaster combo doing alright. The Empire General actually holding up very well. He does have poison attacks, which I think is contributing significantly to the point where he is not being hit very much. But yeah, great swords. Pretty good unit. Not good against focus fire. So yeah, archers, handgunners. Still a lot of their models left, but they have lost a lot of health. Handgunners just don't want to quit though, so we're going to chase them off with the Reichsguard. And our Grandmaster couldn't quite kill the general, but the Great Swords do manage to get into combat a little bit with our swordsmen, but with the combination of melee and range firepower, they go down. Some crossbows do come back, but over on this side, we have decimated most of these units. Now we're being able to shoot them from the side, and Karl Franz coming to the fight. He is taking out the enemy general, proving his superiority. He is the Emperor after all. They must bow to his righteous fury and dominion. And the Empire comes out victorious against these traitors. Hans Frankenwerter going down. Well, that was a much more difficult battle. Imperial Foot carried the weight. Same with their handgunners and the mortar. Reichsguard took a little bit of early damage, but it was necessary to shut down those mortars and some of those handgunners, though. So, pretty happy with how it came out. Yeah, it's not worth looting this and chancing us getting a rebellion and a lot of bets. We're gonna wait. Got Sigmar's Sons unlocked. Okay, we have the barracks already in Ubersreich, so I think we can get rid of this. Although I might keep this around for a little bit because I'm probably not going to upgrade Ubersreich right away, and I would like to get an Empire captain. So we'll get rid of this one in Ubersreich, and we'll build it later in the campaign. For Karl Franz, your unique skill line unlocks at level 12. So we need to start saving points in a couple of levels up. But in the meantime, I think we're just going to keep buffing up our basic units for the Imperial Foot and our Empire State troops. Bright Wizard got 2 levels, so let's get Burning Head since that's a really great spell. Grandmaster did pretty good. Okay, so what is this battle? Master of Battle ability gives leadership and psychology to nearby allies. Okay, that's cool, because that's representative of what they had on tabletop. So that's pretty good. Extra leadership and immunopsychology. Okay, these don't matter because we don't have anything that would benefit from them for now. So let's take Master of Battle. And do we want to get a Wizard Lord? I think it's just going to be too expensive for now. So we're going to keep moving out. We should be able to take Bolkofen next turn. Let's get... I'll wait to get missile units when we can get some better stuff. So for now, let's just get some spearmen.
Yes.
And
the Empire is torn asunder.
I think I waited too long for Katerin. It's going up a little bit, but we'll pay. It'll pay itself back pretty shortly. Bastogne, you're worth the doors, who I don't really want to piss off. Yeah, I'm not too scared about non-aggression pacts with Britonia. We have the fort to protect us anyway. But how's Festus doing? Taking her gig, that's not great. So, yeah.
Now, ready. I am Prince and Emperor.
You're gonna do the recruitment. Good. We'll spend money next turn. I'm fine with that. Yeah, man, I'm super excited to use all these knights. It'll take a little bit for us to start getting them, but we're gonna focus our campaign on that because that's gonna be fun. But yeah, Altdorf's got a really cool upgrade from Oblivion Lost World. You can see it spreads all the way across the River Reich now, which it does in the lore. We have Nuln down here too, which is the industrial center of the Empire. It's called the Jewel of the Empire as well. It's basically the nicest city, but we got our first. Oh, here we go. Move any character to Nuln. This is for our legendary hero. So we don't have a hero to send down there yet, so let's recruit a Wizard Lord. And I think I want Lore of Life first. So he'll do that next turn. In the meantime, for Altdorf, we're going to upgrade this. We can get an Empire Captain. I think you kind of want to do the same thing over here. Get a Engineer. And for our first knightly order, we could go down Sigmar, and that would give us Knights of the Fiery Heart, Knights Griffin, and Flagellants. Go for Knights of the White Wolf. That would also give us the ability to unlock a Warrior Priest. So we can't get a Wizard until tier 3. So let's go for... Oh no, we were going to worry about control first. Look at that. But basically, it doesn't leave us a whole lot of money. But we should be able to take, Volkoffen this turn. Wipe out the Empire Secessionists. That seems like a pretty good conclusion for our first episode. Led by a Grandmaster of their own.
Yes, a sound plan.
Karl, Franz, to get the majority of the experience in his unit, so we're going to transfer these guys over.
Ulrich's will.
And we shouldn't need to fight that one. The Empire Secessionists are destroyed! Ooh, we got some technology too. Or a, whatchamacallit? Conciliary. But we should look at leveling these guys up. No, let's do Route Marcher, actually. Route Marcher is going to be useful.
Is it time?
But that seems like a great spot to end episode 1, guys. I'm enjoying this so far. I hope you are going to have as much fun as I am. I'm really excited to use all the nightly orders, but we'll pick this up episode 2. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day.